You can't make me. I'm like something that don't crack. Like, I don't know, a really hard nut. Like a hazelnut. Yeah. Or that last pistachio in the bag that you just like, it's just sealed, it's fused shut. Only like a welding torch will open it up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 101. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community, and we got 3 teasers. Now, before we get into this first question, I just want to start by saying, if you didn't see my announcement video, end of August, I will be joining EHG, the studio behind Last Epoch, in Germany for Gamescom. I'm going to be working the booth. We're going to be showing off the latest and greatest. It is going to be so much fun, and I can't wait for everyone to see what's coming. All right, let's get into this first question around weapon types.
Plans to add more crazy weapon types. Recently played Undecember, and they have a weapon type called a gunbow, basically a tool-wielding crossbow. It's very cool. Yeah, there's there are some very intentionally missing weapon types that we think will fit really well with certain archetypes that aren't in the game yet, and we're kind of leaving open in preparation for that. So like, there are people who've rummaged through the game files a bit, and they would have noticed a couple of these types that are already they already have like IDs in the lists of item types ready to go, but there's just no item of that type in the game.
Coming.
For example, fist weapons and crossbows, two-handed crossbows, already have an item ID, but there are none in the game.
They've talked crossbows for a while,
and there's definitely we've intentionally left room for other item types to be slipped in as well. So things like, and I have no idea if any of these will be added, but these are just the ones that come to mind for myself personally. Things along the lines of, you know, one-handed spear. There's no one-handed spears in the game. There's no two-handed shields in the game. You know, there's definitely room for some. Ooh, there we go. And there's definitely room for some less conventional weapon types in the future. Maybe a one-handed crossbow. As far as getting actual like gunpowder in the game, that's not something we're planning at the moment. It's possible.
We've been telling them we want guns for a while because, you know, we go into the future. It's a time travel game. Maybe at some point we'll get there. Mike has talked about crossbows and fist weapons for a while. I think that's the next stuff coming in. I like the idea of one-handed spears as well, but I think fist weapons is my favorite. Now, when Mike talked about a two-handed shield, this sparked a debate that we were going on in chat about for like 10 minutes about dual shields. Mike said it's not impossible, but nothing is planned yet. What's new?
Hello. Will we get something extra to do in the upcoming major patch before 1.0?
Extra.
Any extra similar thing to strongboxes and PoE, or really anything. Yeah, there is activity-based features arriving. I don't want to oversell it or go too deep. There's nothing on the same scale as a major full system like Dungeons or Monolith or Arena. Those will still be the 3 main end-game systems that you can interact with. But there's like we're I guess kind of on the similar scale of strongboxes ish.
That's
Not
new.
Really. There's nothing major really. But there's stuff. I'm not allowed to talk about what it is, so I don't want to like go into any detail at all. There's something. Ooh. Strongboxes got a little deep with the, like, how you can like soup them up and all sorts of stuff with that. Like there's nuances to strongboxes that I know I don't even know.
something. Teaser number 1.
So this is the current live model for an Osprix. And
Okay.
what this, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but you can probably tell, is that things are, the wings are flat. They are all on the same vertical plane. And there's not a ton of movement there. There's a little bit, but not a ton. And it feels a little stiff, feels a little flat. And
we could do
so
better.
We're reworking the Osprix model a bunch, especially because they're pretty prominent early on. And so I'll get a similar angle to start with. So here's an update on what the back's gonna look like. So you can see there's much more depth to it. Feels a lot more real.
You could hardly tell
Also just like
the difference.
awesomer looking. This is also probably an unfair comparison because one of them's like the flat one is like it's not a proper render. It's the like preview window in editor. It's not actually a pretty render. So it does look better than that in game actually. And then here's a front shot as well. Boom. Yeah. So I think it's a big upgrade for them.
Huge upgrade. Quality of life improvement.
What's an upcoming quality of life improvement or feature that has you excited for Ellie?
Good question.
There's a small it's not a quality of life improvement, it's a functionality improvement in the loot filter that people will call a quality of life improvement, that I'm excited about. Being able to more specifically ask for certain affixes on items than before, like forcing one affix.
I gotta see this.
Like specific affixes. There's more. You can do specific affixes with more granularity in the loot filter.
Loot filter improvement.
And a couple other things that I'm not going to tell you about.
And a couple other things. Tell us, Mike. Now, I was chatting the whole time Mike was streaming, so what he's about to read is from me. You know, you got to make sure you remind him.
Teaser time. Sure. We can do a teaser. Thanks for reminding me.
You just got to ask. Squeaky wheel.
I'm like 80% sure I haven't shown some before. So sorry if I have.
I bet
But
it's
it's
a
cool,
new
so I'm
mount.
showing it anyways. There
It's
we
for
go.
sure a new spider mount.
I think we may have shown like a still image of like an early version of this or something, or a concept art.
I like it when they give us scale.
Spider Boy.
I don't know if this is huge or a boss, size of the enemy. It's for sure an enemy.
Cool stuff.
The big spider.
It's a new enemy.
All right, everyone, we have come to the end of Dev Chat 101. I have one more teaser to show you. Mike, thank you for continuing your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, of course, only if you think I deserve it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 86 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, what is the best way to support? Among everything out there, Patreon is the best and you get the most benefits. All right, I'm done. Mike, take it away.
I'm sorry. You haven't had a teaser in a while. So I think we're going to have to fix that. Yeah. Here we go. So I know we've shown concept art of this one before. I remember that. But here is the in-game render model. New Sentinel set. I love the... I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's big enough to see it. You probably can. So like the shoulder plates, the pauldrons are there's a hammerhead on one side. I know it's not super practical, but it looks cool. So there's the hammerhead and then like the hammer tail butt. I don't know what you want to call that. The pick, and then at the top on his helmet, there's like the spike as well. And then if you look in his belt, at the front on his his right, our left on his belt, there's that same style of hammer right there. I thought that was a really cool touch. Smartfro about biggest issue about adding forging potential. Just curious about it. Is it the ability to create perfect items and mirror it constantly? It's not even the and mirror it constantly. It's just being able to create perfect items. Like full stop. There, that's the problem. It creates, and it's not about being able to create perfect items, because you can create perfect items now even. It's that being able to restore forging potential to an item creates it's an additive chance that you're introducing to the system that is almost strictly multiplicative at the moment. It's kind of like, I know this is a bad example. I don't know a better one. I'm really sorry. I wish I had a better example here. But the one that comes to mind that's kind of a similar-ish thing. If you look at damage reduction, and you say, and so usually when you're adding damage, more stats are just better. So you're like, oh, I want more damage is better than increased damage, right? Well, it's the opposite for reduced damage, because if you have 100% reduced damage taken, you take no damage. And so if you have, say, 5 instances of 20% reduced damage taken, that is 100% reduced damage taken, because they all get added together, and that's 0, right? But if you have 5 instances of 20% less damage taken, that's actually not 100% reduced damage, because they're each multiplicative with each other. So the first one reduces it by 20, and the second one reduces it by 20% of 80% of the damage. It's not 20% of 100% of the damage. And so each one of those is worth a tiny bit less each time. And you end up not being able to reduce your damage to 0, damage taken to 0. It's kind of the same problem. If you start adding in a bunch of additive damage reduction stats, eventually you'll get to a point where it's just a problem. And they have way more impact.